As of recently, I've officially left my role at the WWE. I'm going to assume some of you are here for the first time, so allow me to introduce me. My name is Noah Waterman. This channel is the Kaiju Lounge, your home for humor, opinions, and nerd. I'm a man of many hats, a husband, a relatively new father, forever DM, host of the world's greatest gamer tournament, second Tuesday every month, live from New York City, announcer and MC for Kaiju Big Battle, and by the time you are seeing this, former senior producer and team lead for the WWE's gaming channel, Up, Up, Down, Down. Now, if you are a longtime viewer of Austin Creed's Brainchild and the algorithm did its job right, then I assume you have stumbled upon this video with at least a base curiosity of who's this schmuck? I've never heard of him. And that's fair. I've been working quietly behind the scenes, keeping the channel running smoothly, only to pop in occasionally to get yelled at during Uno or provide context and corrections. To be clear, I was not upper management. That is a specific person and someone else entirely. I was more like middle management. Now, running the day-to-day operations of Up, Up, Down, Down was the kind of job 12-year-old me would make up while not paying attention in class. I was basically paid to help WWE superstars play video games. So why leave? Why, after 5 years, leave behind the millions of subscribers, salary pay, and production resources of the WWE? Let's start at the beginning. Summer of 2018. I had left my job in ad tech to start freelancing full-time while also working on what this channel used to be Team Fun, a format and style that was actually very heavily inspired by Up, Up, Down, Down at the time. Think 50% more board games and 100% less StarCraft. A friend of mine had seen a posting on a tri-state area media professionals group on Facebook looking for a producer who loved video games and had strong knowledge of the WWE and forwarded it to me. Then 2 more people did the exact same thing. I felt very seen. I reached out, shared my resume with the poster, applied, and the next thing I knew, I was being offered a temp position to work at WWE, a company I've spent most of my life following. Now, I had to give up on the channel and freelancing before I either had a chance to go somewhere. I had only been doing Team Fun for a little over a year and had barely been freelancing for 5-6 months. But this was an amazing opportunity for me. Now, in the time I was there, I went from a temp associate producer to a full-time senior producer and manager on the team. I became the go-to guy for live streaming, tech, and games. I built a live stream solution that allowed for our Up, Up, Down, Down PLE events to travel from hotel to hotel. During the pandemic, I created a workflow that allowed our talent to play together locally when they couldn't actually be local, keeping us thriving at a time when nobody really was. And if there was a random or obscure game that popped up on the channel, oftentimes that was my fault. Sorry, not sorry, Breeze. Clax was my idea, and I stand by it. I was ambitious, and WWE allowed me to follow that ambition. But I was also a fan of Up, Up, Down, Down. I love this channel from the very first Basement episode, long before I thought this would even be a possibility. I wanted to make it the best it could be. So, why am I leaving? Well, it's death by 1,000 cuts, really. There are a lot of little things, but when they add up, it can be looped into 3 distinct groups. First is the corporate structure. I never wanted this lifestyle, but I kind of fell into it. And both my parents were artists, and I always hoped for a less traditional path for myself. WWE is a huge company and historically a tightly controlled IP. There were a lot of things I wanted to do that I just couldn't. Sometimes because talent were getting pulled in 18 different directions and our gaming channel was not top priority. Sometimes I'd have to wait so long for other departments to do something that the actual opportunity would pass. And sometimes I was just told no. I would never get full creative control, nor should I. It's not my channel, I get that. But I began to miss the freedom of trying new things, breaking molds, and not needing to go through the red tape. I wanted the freedom to try and fail and iterate and try again. This is not an odd circumstance for a huge company, but that's also why I kind of don't want that life. That's number 1. Number 2, I love content creation and I love gaming, but I also love being able to perform, to host, to be that welcoming personality that draws the audience in and connects through the lens of the camera to the other side. I was never going to get that in the WWE. Rightfully so, mind you. I make no bones about it. The WWE superstars are the company's bread and butter. I shouldn't be on WWE programming. I got the body of a baked potato, and that's not why they hired me. As I continued to grow in that company, my work was becoming less creative and more clerical, taking me further away from what I actually wanted to do with my life, which is be a content creator, not a content producer. I was also getting roped into more projects that weren't gaming-based and didn't align with my passions, and I felt I was losing touch with what I actually wanted to do with my career. Lastly, there was the issue of time. Time is a finite resource, and time spent is time you can't get back. Running Up Up Down Down was a full-time job, and the small team there does 95% of the work. Shooting, editing, thumbs, social, tech, etc. Being looped into the aforementioned other projects meant pulling time from elsewhere, either Up Up Down Down or my personal life. Now, theoretically, in a normal job, I could work on my own creative projects during off hours. I did that with Team Fun. But WWE is not a normal job. It's a traveling circus with multiple shows a week in a different city every night. You have to be on all the time and ready to travel at a moment's notice. If I was single in my 20s and had no responsibilities, then this job would be a different story. That's not the case now. I'm 39, I have a kid, a wife, and I've already lost plenty of weekends to them to fly to another state or lock myself in an office or churn out a last-minute video that has to go live tomorrow. Even without greater aspirations, it was a lot. To work on my own things and help put myself out there while providing the company with everything they needed from me, I'd have to dip into my time as a husband and a father, not as a senior producer. And that was starting to mean giving up my dream for what may be the 8th, 9th most important thing in the company. It feels weird complaining, because this is nothing compared to what the WWE superstars do every day. Like, hardworking is an understatement. All the travel, the obligations, my schedule was nothing compared to all that. But in my defense, they're currently living out their dreams, performing for an audience, doing things they set out to do with their lives, whereas I was always one step removed and left me feeling beat, depleted, and oftentimes just sad. Lately, I've been very lucky. Right, I started hosting The World's Greatest Gamer and was picked from a number of social media entries to become the commentator, announcer, and host of Kaiju Big Battle, another promotion I've been a fan of since like 2006. Both of these projects have reminded me how much I love being in front of a live crowd and letting loose. It's lit a fire under me, but I can't help grow these things and myself with my current WWE schedule. So I talked with my wife, I saved up what I needed to, and now I'm taking the leap. Short-term plan is to once again freelance. I'm going to take my experience doing at-home production, live streaming, and show-running projects like the 2K ratings reveal and Up Up Down Down Schools Out, and help other businesses and projects live stream their events, or make content for them, or even just consult. I want to bring creative solutions to creatives' problems. But that's to pay the bills, because daycare is expensive. Otherwise, I want to grow the Kaiju Lounge. I want to make the world's greatest gamer even greater. I want to talk about the games industry, or highlight the goofy, wacky side of video games. I want to talk to people that are doing cool, nerdy shit, go offbeat conventions, interview owners of barcades, stores, performance art, you name it. I want to celebrate the culture of nerds and all its various offshoots, and I'd love to give you guys a peek under the hood while I do it. See, I like to break things and push tech past its limit. So I plan to vlog all my failures and mistakes and wins, building out OBS setups and Launchbox builds and optimizing my Stream Deck, like a gaming channel about building a gaming channel. Look, some will say it's a midlife crisis. To that, I say no shit. You think I got 2 nerdy tattoos in the last 4 years and started dyeing my hair like a Lisa Frank Trapper Keeper because I'm adjusting well to getting older? No! I said, who the am I and do I like this person? And I'm now doing something about it. And maybe I fall flat on my face and this goes absolutely nowhere. It's happened to me before, but that's okay, because I owe it to myself to try. And I've learned so much more, I've grown so much more, I have a far wider skill set than I ever did 5 years ago when I first stepped foot into Titan Towers. I'm not looking to be the next Mr. Beast or Pokemon. I don't care about a gaudy play button. I just want to build something I can be proud of and maintain a lifestyle that keeps me and my family happy while doing what I love. Only time will tell how that plays out. Now, before I go, I just want to say thank you to everyone I worked with so closely at WWE. I've worked plenty of places where I did not like most of the employees, but much to my surprise, almost everyone I got to work with was so talented, dedicated, fun, and just chill. It's cliche to say, but I won't miss the office or the work or the travel. It's the people that made this decision to leave the hardest. To all the up, up, down, down regular talent, thank you for the opportunity to get to work with you and the excitement you often shared when you found out you were coming to an up, up, down, down shoot. To Dad and upper management who hired me in the first place, and I will not name because I know they both would hate that, you put your faith in someone with more raw skill than resume entries and gave me validation and confidence I was missing before I got here. Technically, that same validation has given me the confidence to bet on myself, so really this is your own damn fault. To the BRE, who I still believe in to this day, and I wish I could have done more for. All 4 of you were so enthusiastic about being on Up Up Down Down and worked so hard, even without me asking. I'm glad I got to know all of you. To Departy. Departy's reign on the channel was truly a highlight of my career. Not because the numbers were great or anything, they were, but because I got to know all of you and it was some of the most fun I ever had on this job. To my Up Up Down Down team, I am so proud of all of you. The work and dedication you put into this channel has been nothing short of inspirational. I've been there. I know it's not easy when a leader leaves, but I have faith that you will take all of what was done and make it far better than I ever could. And of course, Austin Creed. Without you, none of this could be possible. You built a platform that has allowed me to shine in the best possible way, and I will be forever grateful. I've been lucky to go from a fan to being inspired by you, to a supporter, to a peer, to a friend. You've done so much for me, both in and out of this job. I've been the first to gas me out. I could not be betting on myself if I hadn't spent the last 5 years betting on you. I look forward to watching you shine even more, and once again, just being a fan. Now, if you're still here hoping I was going to shoot on the company, this isn't that video. I'm still trying to maintain good relationships, and chances are, if that's what you wanted, then you don't really need me to tell you that a giant corporate entity has giant corporate problems, do you? But I encourage you, if you are here still, subscribe to the channel, because I got a lot of fun stuff coming. The World's Greatest Gamer that we do live every second Tuesday of the month from OS NYC. Now that I have time, the Best Game of All Time podcast is returning with hopefully some new guests on the horizon. I'm also going to be tying in some wrestling stuff and the tech and production I used to do for Up Up Down Down here on the channel. So if you're creative as well, or just interested in some of those lessons, then I hope I can provide some insight. And I got one project that's arguably 5 years or so down the road, but if the cards are played right, could be pretty big. 5 years might be generous, but you'll just have to jump on the ground floor now and see. Until then, stay cool, stay hip, stay heavy, keep it tight.